Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I'd like to say Happy New Year to you all. Sorry I've not been around much during December, it was absolutely mental, busy, and then I took the flu, so that wiped me out and I lost my voice. So that was great. So since it's January, I thought what's better than to start with a bit of design and some organisation. So that's what you're seeing on the screen. I'm just using SketchUp to do the design, and then I'll take the faces, convert them into an SVG file, and then laser them out and glue them up for you. So when I was actually doing this first time round, I missed out on some of the faces, so you won't see those getting cut out. So in SketchUp, I'm using a extension called Face SVG. It's super easy to use. All you need to do is select your faces once you've isolated them from your project. Go down and click Face SVG and then Layout SVG. Once you've got that, you check the file over and make sure all your holes are in the right places. So once you're happy with the file, then all you need to do is right click on them again, bring up that menu and then select Write SVG Profile, which unfortunately you won't be able to see because it's just out of range on the camera screen. But that brings up the option to save it. And once you're saving it, you need to remember and save it as a .svg file. If you don't save it as a .svg file, it won't open in Inkscape easily. So now that I've got it open Inkscape, what I'm going to do is draw a bounding box of 900 by 600 because that's the size of my material, and then I'll import it into Deep Nest and run it through Deep Nest so it's nice and tight on the material so I'm not wasting anything, which I covered in a previous video. The link for that will be in the description below, and then we can just go straight into lasering it and crack on. So again, I'm just using 6mm MDF here because it's structurally quite sound, and it'll be perfect for this project. So we're just going to beast through cutting it out. One thing I did do during the winter or over Christmas and stuff is gave my laser a good clean and made sure everything was well maintained, cleaned all the lenses and stuff. And then I also kept an eye on the temperatures because this is in an outbuilding which I have heated. I wanted to make sure that over the cold period, obviously we've still got more to come, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't dropping low enough that it would freeze the glass tubes and crack them. It's always important to make sure if you've got your laser outside that it's going to stay nice and warm. Alternatively, you can also use like an RV antifreeze, which I believe is, if you're in the UK, is available from Laserply. I'll link them below as well, so you can check that out. It's always an option for you. So laser cutting this was, like I said before, was dead easy. However, I did miss a few of the sections out when I was laying out the faces, so I had to go back in and cut them off camera. So I had all the parts for the build, which is a fairly straightforward process, and I just used my super glue. I love how cleanly it all comes out with this laser, and it just slots together nice and simply. So I do a dry fit to begin with and then remind myself where all the parts go. This little piece there needed a bit cut off it because I've put a tab where there shouldn't have been. Um, and then use some tape just to hold it in place while I figure it out, make sure everything's in the right place. Once I'm happy with that, then I just go in with the super glue that is listed in my Amazon store. If you want to go and check that out, you can do, but wait until after the video, please. I did use some clamps on these bits just because with it being a smooth face MDF, it does slide about with the super glue, and then I decided just to whip out the activator spray so that didn't happen. This piece was a little bit tight, so I had to trim it. The idea for this piece, which I haven't designed the final part for yet, is like a slide out tray, so the MDF has to be able to slide in and out there. So I started off by gluing the internal pieces all up first because it's going to be easier to glue all them in one piece and then start gluing the outside edges. So using the super glue and activator spray, it means it all goes together really quickly. You just put some glue on the bits that you want to glue up and then spray them once they're joined up together with the activator spray, and it sets dead quick. I think it's like 15 seconds and it's set solid. But I just use a bit of tape just to hold down some of the parts there, so that they stay in place basically. And then hit it all with some activator spray and job's a good one.